Hello, beautiful people in the world. I am your host, Essence.
I'm your host, Alondra, and you're now listening to Pretty Perspectives.
Hi, Alondra.
Hi, Essence.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Doing good.
Yeah,
How was your day today?
it was great. I actually had 3 clients, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and
Productive day.
two, Brazilian waxes and
Ooh,
one classic organic facial.
Brazilian. Well, talking about Brazilians, that's actually what we're gonna dive into today.
Yeah,
Brazilian waxes.
yeah,
How do
we
you feel about
are.
that?
I'm excited,
Yeah.
actually. I've been waxing for what, going on 3 years?
Uh
So I've seen a lot, done a lot.
huh.
I'm excited to share with the beautiful people in the world, you know,
Tips, experiences, and I think that's probably one of my favorite things to do.
waxing.
Waxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're really good at makeup too.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I was looking at your makeup pictures on, is it your personal page or your business
My
page?
business page.
Okay.
I actually used to have a makeup page called Alo Makeup,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just post things there. Sometimes they would be random things. So eventually, I removed that account and I took some of my favorite makeup looks and put them in my business page.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
like to
pretty
get
cool.
I like to get a little creative with that
Yeah.
side of makeup,
It's
especially for Halloween.
yeah. Oh my goodness, your Grinch Halloween.
Oh yeah, it
So cute.
took me a
Was it the
while.
Grinch with the
It was like the Grinch hand
yes,
holding like the what's it called?
ornament.
Ornament. Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Like, what is it called? I drew it on my face.
Back to Brazilian though.
Yeah.
My favorite treatment to do in the treatment room is dermaplaning.
Mhm.
I really enjoy doing that
It's so
facial. It
satisfying.
is just seeing all the vellus hair and the dead skin
Yeah.
cells just lifting off the face is really good. Yeah.
I think that's such a pleasing thing to look at.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And how the skin feels afterwards. So soft, so supple. It's
The
just,
aftermath of it, huh?
yeah, yeah.
So tell me, what would you say? Well, how can we advise the girlies out there
Hmm.
how to get ready for a Brazilian? Because I feel like it's such a overwhelming, um,
Oh, yeah, it really is.
thing to do as a woman, especially how you go in there and you just sit on the table, and then after that, you're like, okay, it can be a little bit intimidating. But
It
how
really
how would you
can.
say we can tell the girlies how to prepare for that?
Exfoliate the night before. Do not shave. Don't
Mm-mm.
shave at all. I mean, it'll make your esthetician's head just run,
We're here sweating and
Yeah,
everything.
don't shave before and exfoliate the night before. Moisturize. A lot of women don't realize this, but
How important that is.
moisturizing your lady area is very, very important
Oh yeah.
because if it's dry in your lady
Oh
area,
girl,
you're just setting
girl.
yourself up for failure when you get into that Brazilian, into the treatment room.
Yeah.
Um, what else can I advise them to do? Give me a sec. I'm thinking because I want this last one to be a good one. Um, I don't know. It'll
What
come to
about
me.
the hair growth?
The hair growth.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
Because you know how you mentioned don't shave. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people think like, oh, let me just trim it, so it's
Yeah.
not as painful. I'm just gonna say it. It hurts,
Mm-hmm.
but it's tolerable for most people. It is.
It is.
It hurts, but if you leave your hair too short, it's gonna be harder for your esthetician, for your professional, to remove the hair,
Yeah.
and your experience might not
might not go as well
No.
or as planned. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid of their hair growth being too long.
You're like, oh, it's gonna hurt more.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt regardless.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but it shouldn't hurt that bad.
No,
honestly.
no. I know. I've seen those TikTok videos. There's actually this girl. I sent it over to my siblings. She was waxing her brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But she was waxing the back of their leg. You know, man, like they typically have a lot of hair back there.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because she's like, oh my God, stop whining. It's not that bad. She's just stripping off that hair. It's like, it hurts so bad.
It probably looked really good afterwards.
Oh, yeah. He was bald.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt, you know, as much as people put it out there.
Yeah.
I would say.
It doesn't hurt as much as, especially if the esthetician is using cornstarch.
Yeah. Please use cornstarch.
Yes. Use cornstarch. I cannot stress that enough to estheticians. Do not wake up and choose violence.
It sounds like
It's
bad.
no. Can I share with the beautiful
of course,
people?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Alondra and I was talking about. I was like, Alondra, we were preparing, of course, this podcast for you guys. And I asked her, I was like, have you ever done your own Brazilian wax before? She's like, yeah, I have. I was like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, I typically wax, you know. It takes me a bit of time.
Longer.
I was like, you use cornstarch? She says, no.
Keep in mind, when we do services here at the spa, it's a must. We have to use cornstarch. But me, girl, I was like, I'm not using nothing. I'm just
like,
stripping it away. Maybe that's why it takes me longer.
Maybe. I'm like, who hurt you, Alondra?
Like, who cares?
Like, why are you torturing yourself with not laying cornstarch down? It is a must.
It's like a game changer. Let me say that. It's a game changer.
Cornstarch, if it wasn't for that, I don't think a lot of women would come. Well, they would.
Yeah.
Women, we do a lot of things. We put ourselves in a lot of different situations where we're uncomfortable just to feel beautiful.
Yeah. And Brazilians is one of them.
Yeah.
You know, you can get creative with the Brazilians too.
Yes, you really can. A lot of people don't know what a landing strip is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys. Okay, I had this one client come to me, and I typically do I believe it's a Brazilian wax, but we would leave a landing strip. And one day she came in and I was waxing her. And her hair color was different. I'm like, your hair color is not bright, or what is it called? Magenta red. She said, I know, girl, I dyed it. I'm like, you did what?
Dyed her hair.
She dyed her lady area hair. People literally, they get creative with it.
Wow.
I guess if they have something that you can vajazzle, you know, those little rhinestones,
go
you
ahead.
can definitely dye.
Vajazzling it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, have you seen them?
No.
Some estheticians provide vajazzling in there, just like they you know, provide vajacials.
Yeah.
They'll vajazzle your lady area for you.
Area.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've seen a lot of people use the jelly mask.
Yes.
Which I think that's so good afterwards.
Yes.
It's a really good add-on, just because, you know, that cool feeling of it after all that trauma down there. Now that I'm for that. But I don't know about vajazzling it
or dyeing
it.
I wouldn't what is it called, recommend dyeing.
You just don't know, you know, sometimes even like fragrance is not good for
exactly
area.
I would not recommend it, but she did it and it made her happy, and I was like, you know what,
girl, if that helps you go ahead.
But I was so shocked.
You're like, hold on, I see you regularly.
I swear she probably see me just like with the confused face. She was like, "Yeah, I know, I dyed it."
Oh my god.
I know.
Well, talking about dyeing hair, I want to put something out there. You know, a lot of girlies might feel uncomfortable getting a Brazilian when it's that time of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And from, you know, an esthetician's perspective, it's completely normal.
It is.
It is so normal for us, you know. It doesn't do anything. Have you ever had any experiences when it comes to that topic?
Girl, you putting me on the spot today. It is normal for women to get a Brazilian wax coming into the service. Definitely use a tampon. Probably, change your tampon before you come in. And we do provide sanitizing wipes, so you can clean yourself up. Girl. I don't. Should I share this with the pretty,
Up to you.
beautiful people in the world?
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Yes, thank you.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
If you're very sensitive about
graphic details.
Yes. Trigger warning. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know. I feel so embarrassed.
No, hey, I'm sure there's a lot of estheticians out there that.
Oh, let me know if you've had this before, had that done. But this was my very first client that came in, with the tampon. I knew that it could, you could get a Brazilian wax, on your period.
Which you might be more sensitive if you come in, but it doesn't change the experience. Like, pain-wise is still going to be the same. You might feel it a little bit more just because, like your hormones and there's a lot going on, but it doesn't stop you from getting that service done.
I typically provide my clients with like a little heating pad while they're on the table just to help with the cramping. But girl, let's get back to this story. Let's just move on. But it was my first time again. I was very nervous and I did not know what to do with the string. We all know about the string. It is like
the string.
The string is really long, and I was trying my hardest not to touch it.
Right.
Not to touch it with my hands, not to touch it with the wax, especially not with the wax or the waxing stick, right?
Right.
So I get through the whole lady area, right? Waxing the entire lady area. We were going to the back. So typically I'll have my clients raise their knees to their chest, just so I can get the backside. Guys, as I was laying the two strips, the waxing strips on the backside, you know what I'm talking about. If you've gotten a Brazilian wax, you know what I'm talking about. To the back of the backside, and as I was going to pull, the string got caught in the wax. I'm sorry about my language, but it got caught in the wax, and literally it flew out, and I was like,
girl.
I was so embarrassed.
It was your first time like doing a service with somebody.
Yes. So now
you know though, if that didn't happen, you wouldn't have learned.
No, I have them sometimes hold the string just so it won't get into the back side. So please do not hesitate. My advice to new estheticians out there: do not hesitate to be vocal and to ask for help, because I didn't want to make her uncomfortable.
No, I'd be like, oh, like, can you? No. And I think that's something that you're putting out there, because it could be awkward.
It can.
It really can. Yeah. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, hey, you don't mind?
Just hold this for me while I'm.
We don't want
Yeah, and I was just being so confident. Aww. I'm like, okay, I made it this far.
I got this. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I'm a woman too.
I know, but I was just so embarrassed. And honestly, I do not know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they ever came back. I'm not sure if they still come and see me. I do not know. Like, and I think it's a good thing as estheticians who wax Brazilian waxes, all day, every day.
Yeah.
It all just looks the same at this point, and it all blurs into each other.
It really does.
We forget. We honestly forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we get that good technique in there, no strings,
Getting
caught. That's our, we're set.
Yeah, we are set.
Do you remember the first time you whacked somebody?
Yes. I think it was on a Sunday.
Okay. How was that?
It was my first official waxing service that I had provided, and I was so nervous.
Oh.
Like, I get here 30 minutes before all of my appointments just to get set up. So I got here on that Sunday. I think it was a afternoon or a morning. I could be wrong. And the client that came in, she knew that I was very new
to it, right?
Yeah, so she already had that notion that I was new,
and I really appreciate clients like that.
Yes,
especially when you let them know ahead of time, like, hey, this is the first time I'm gonna try this, or this is the first time I'm gonna try this product, or something new, even to us. I really appreciate when they're understanding and they just go with the flow.
Yeah, they just go with the, and she went with the flow, but I got prepared for her. I know. I got prepared for her, but I was so emotional. I cried like a baby.
No.
Because I was like, what am I doing here? I don't want to hurt anybody.
I promise I'm just here to learn.
I don't know what to do. My husband was like, you can leave. You don't have to do this. I was like,
it's just nerve-wracking.
It is very nerve-wracking. And I was like, no, I'm an esthetician. This is what we do. Like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. If they can, I can. But I was so nervous. I was like crying so bad.
Oh my God.
Like hysterically. And so she comes in, and I think she could tell that I've been crying. She's like, how are you doing? I don't know. She's like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. Even before I started waxing her, I was like very apologetic.
Oh,
even before I laid any wax down, I was like, I'm so sorry. I am new to this. Please bear with me.
Well, that's good though. You communicated it.
I did. And she was the most understanding, polite, down to earth, grounded person. She was like, oh, girl, I've had 3 kids. Like, I've gone through childbirth. This is nothing to me.
Oh.
I was like, okay. And literally the entire time she kept me talking.
Oh, so that's just to make sure that you were comfortable too.
And typically nowadays is not like that. It's the other way around. I'm talking
we have to make them feel comfortable.
But since she knew that it was my first time, she knew that I was nervous. And so she was like, okay, I'll talk to you. Don't worry about it. Like, let's talk about something else while you do this Brazilian wax. And she, the entire time, each strip that I laid, she was giving me pointers. She's like, oh, that didn't hurt too bad, or that hurts, or maybe not tweeze there. That's very, very sensitive. Let's not tweeze there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just put another landing strip. So that experience helped me a lot.
Aww.
If it wasn't for that experience, if it wasn't for it going so well, I probably wouldn't have continued to do waxing. How about you? Do you remember your first?
I remember, because since I was in school, I loved waxing. But when it came to the lady area, I was like, okay, how does it work? Because when you're doing full body waxing, for the most part, everything is just flat. Everything is just straight. But when it comes to the lady area, you have to be careful, and you have to actually grip the skin, so you don't hurt your client too. I remember practicing a lot of them at school.
You did it yourself? Like, practiced yourself?
No. I did it quite a few times on one of my girlies at school. Her name is Rachel. I love Rachel. She was just the perfect person to work on, because she as well communicated to me like, oh, like, we don't, like, this doesn't feel bad, this and that. But my first ever Brazilian was actually freshly out of school. It was at my house. And I remember she reached out to me because I was doing a service on one of her son's friends, or something like that. I'm not sure. I honestly don't remember. But she came and I told her, like, a heads up, like, hey, like, I'm just letting you know, I am doing it at my house, but I'm gonna make sure I give you the best experience ever. I set up, like, my table and everything, just like how I would do at school and how they taught us. I can't lie to you and tell you that I was like, oh my god, like, this is the first actual official one. Like, this person does not know me.
Yeah.
I don't know this person. I don't know how this is gonna go, but hey, I'm confident in this, and that's all that matters. She comes in. I tell her what to do. Good thing she already knew what to do. And I feel like that helped me so much. She's like, oh, I've done this before, but, I was just looking for somebody else. It took me a good 20 minutes, just because she has done it before. But I think that helped me just to work on, like, okay, how do I apply this? How do I apply that? How do I, pull this and this and that? So I don't know. It was good. The experience was good.
It wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't bad.
You didn't cry?
No, I didn't cry. I feel like, because
you've had so much experience in school.
Yeah, in school.
Yeah.
And
that wasn't the case with me. We had one demo, and I'm not saying it's, bad on their part.
Yeah.
It's just we only had one demo, and we were literally, I laid one strip in school on the lady area. Just one.
Yeah.
That was it.
I remember my instructor telling me at school that we were the only school that actually taught how to do Brazilians.
Which is really good. That's
like, out of our area, we were the only school. And I was so excited about that, because I was like, okay, like, this makes me even want to do it more.
Yeah.
Because when
you're getting something that isn't
really out there.
Yeah.
And, you can, when you're in school, you get to look at the videos and, like, the pictures, but there's nothing compared to actually doing it.
Exactly.
Doing everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's different.
Yeah.
You get to feel how it actually is.
Yeah. Like, be there, hands down, trial and error type situation. Yeah.
I mean, when you're in school, it's not always pretty. Let me say that.
It's not. You run into a lot of things.
You're like, oh my god, what do I do now? I remember, this is not my story. It didn't happen to me. One of the girls at school, I don't remember if she was a demo or she was watching a demo. Point is, they were doing a demo. And she explained to me that somebody else was doing it. Yes, somebody else was doing it on her.
Okay.
And when they apply the wax on her, the instructor said, okay, now everything else is covered. But now you're going to go down. I guess this girl went straight down in the middle. So if you're an esthetician out there, or if you've gotten a Brazilian done before, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. How did they take that off? I have no idea.
What the heck?
But straight down in the middle. I'm like, well, like I said, trial and error, right?
Yes, it is trial and error.
But oh my god, down the middle is crazy.
It is crazy. And man, was there you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
May have been hair there, of course, hair on the topper. The top, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, though. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Woo!
I wouldn't imagine, but I honestly,
I
I'm
would
not
have
even
freaked
gonna lie.
out though.
I'm not gonna lie. I have in the very beginning of probably first couple weeks, I have laid some crazy strips. And I am
Yes.
so sorry
Yes, me too.
to everyone.
I know.
I have laid some crazy.
Yes.
It wasn't until I did it on myself. I waxed myself.
And you're like, what am I doing?
Yes, I'm like, oh my god, have I been doing this to people? No, you know. And I feel like even then, when you have a lot of experience, sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you have to.
I would never lay a strip on someone else that I wouldn't lay on myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's just my thing, and I'm an esthetician, so I want to make the service just cancel out not negative, just cancel out the unnecessary pain, because it, as you said, it's already painful enough. So if I can practice and continue to work, and I am to this day.
Oh yeah,
practicing
same.
To make sure that my services
we're not all the same.
Yeah.
So you can't just get used to one way, because it's gonna change. You're dealing with different clients, so it comes with that.
It does.
Something I do want to point out and say is, if you're interested in getting a Brazilian done, me and Essence were actually talking about this. We recommend for you to look into an actual spa. I think it's different if you go to a spa than just to, what would you call it?
A speed waxer.
A speed waxer. The speed waxer, it says it in the name, speed. They're just there to remove the hair, and that's it. Let's go to the next. But if you go to a spa, they'll probably take more time on you, make you feel more comfortable, and just make that whole experience better.
Especially if it's your first time.
If it's your first time, I recommend that. Now, after that, if you're just, okay, I just want to remove the hair, let's go. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, my client today, actually, she booked her 12 p.m. appointment. She was a new client today.
Okay.
And again, I get here 30 minutes early, just to set up for my entire day. And I don't know what I'm running into, because she's new, right? So she comes in.
That's how I feel too every time I get a new Brazilian.
Yeah. Client. So she comes in, and I ask her questions. I'm like, okay, so when's the last time you got a Brazilian wax? She said 2 months ago. And I was like, okay, do you want the entire thing off, or do you want the landing strip, right? She's like, no, I just want the entire thing off. I said, oh, okay. And I went over the protocol with her. I'm like, do this, and I'll step out while you get yourself prepared. I'll knock on the door and see if you're ready afterwards. So we do all of that, right? I come back in the room, and I'm like, how long have you, gotten a... So as she was laying back, getting into the butterfly position, I took a look, and she literally just had... I thought it was maybe 3 weeks, month growth, but it literally had been 2 months. I'm like, oh, she's been getting this done for a while, because everyone knows, if you've gotten a Brazilian wax, as you continue to go get your Brazilian wax, eventually your hair growth will start slowing down.
Oh, it will. And you could see it. If you're consistent with it, you are going to see it.
Yes, and I could tell that, she's been doing it for Brazilian waxes for a while. She's like, I asked, how long have you been doing Brazilian waxes? She said, for 3 years. I said, oh, okay. And I'm like, you've been going to the European Wax Center the entire time? She said, yes. I was like, okay. She said, I just wanted to try something different, because I keep getting these ingrowns, and those ingrowns are creating blemishes. And I was like, okay, let me tell you something. Like, I literally took my time. It probably took an hour with her, which we do block out that amount of time, just to make sure we have enough time.
And that's the thing, the difference between a speed waxing place and a spa. We're gonna take our time to explain to you
Yeah.
The pros, the cons, the do's, the
The
don'ts,
don'ts.
the care.
Yes.
They might give you a sheet or so. I'm not
no,
sure.
they don't.
Oh, they don't.
They don't. I did just that. I was literally recommending her products. I told her do this, do that, especially because she had melanin in her skin, and everyone knows the deeper your skin tone, the more sensitive your skin is. And I told her that you really have to. It's all about less is best, honestly, in her case, and also make sure that she's using the proper stuff for her skin. So I told her, I gave her a lot of information. I was like,
good.
This was during like the service as I was waxing her and I was breaking down everything. And I was like, the reason why they're doing that is because they want to, like they're speed waxing at the European Wax Center is because
they just need to get the hair off.
Yeah, they want to meet a quota. They want to grow in that industry, and it's nothing wrong with the speed waxer at all. I think it's really cool that they can wax that fast. Yeah, it
but
really
there's
is.
also, you know, like afterwards. Okay, why am I getting ingrowns?
Yes, they have those questions,
but they possibly be the way, you know, the technique is being used when it comes to Brazilian waxes, and it has to do a lot with the way you pull the hair.
Yes. And so I gave her the protocol sheet that we always give to our clients, and she was like, girl, this experience is so different. I said,
that's good.
I'm so glad that you had a great experience here today. I said that was my goal, is to send you home a lot more confident so you can, you know, repair the damage that has been done, because she had a lot of ingrowns, and I could tell that it, you know, it was a constant struggle for her for 3 years. And so she was like, I took your business card and I'm texting my friends right now. I was like, well, thank you. It was, you know, such a pleasure meeting you. But, you know, I explained to her that here we take our time.
We're going to take our time, especially if you're new to us, you know?
Yeah.
Because every time a client books, like, it has a little, like, icon there that says new.
Oh, yes.
Regardless, if we've never seen you before, at least I like to ask, you know, and make them feel comfortable once we're in there in the treatment. Like, oh, even if on there it says that they've gotten waxed before, I always ask, like, oh, like, have you ever gotten waxed before? How long ago? Even if it says on the sheet that they fill out before, I always like to ask.
Yes.
Have you ever gotten waxed before? Because if they haven't, okay, then I can go one way or another, you know, into guiding them.
You can tell when it's their first time. They are freaking out. And the I mean, even before they get into the treatment room, I'm like, calm down, take a couple breaths. You're okay. Take your time. Take as much time as you need before, you know, I come back in the room. Like, just get yourself a little bit calm, you know.
And going back to that, something that is completely normal is for you to sweat during, even if it's your first, not your first time. It's so normal for you to sweat. It's such a natural reaction that we get out of it. You know, it's such a overwhelming and awkward.
Speaking about sweating, I want to share a story.
Go ahead.
The person that it happened to allowed me to share that story because it was an experience.
Yeah.
So prepare yourselves, viewers. Another trigger warning. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so this client of mine, a very dear friend of mine, because, you know, when you go through something like this, she still comes to see me today, and I literally adore her and her family. She has the most beautiful family. But at the time, this was her second time coming to me to get her Brazilian wax. And the second time she came to me, she was pregnant. She was literally about to give birth the following week. So the reason why she was there was to get herself prepared for childbirth. So she was scheduled to get, I believe, a C-section. And as I was waxing her...
Because don't they do that when they get a C-section? Like, don't they...
They cut, they cut up, your stomach.
But the hair, do they leave it?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if I heard this before, but I think they remove the hair due to like, infections, like to avoid
Okay, I didn't
infections.
know that.
I'm not
I'm not sure
sure.
about
Correct me
that.
if I'm wrong, but
Yeah. But yeah, so I was waxing her, and as I was waxing her, I noticed that she was having a lot of pinpoint bleeding. And pinpoint bleeding is completely normal, but
mhm.
hers was more than
You're
usual.
like,
I was like, okay, but as she was pinpoint bleeding, I was already halfway done.
yeah.
So I was like, as I was done with the front lady area, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get on all fours. And as she was getting on all fours, I turned around to grab the cornstarch from the stand, and she begins to say, "Am I supposed to be bleeding this much?" I said, "Yeah, I noticed that you were pinpoint bleeding. That's normal." And as I was turning around, she was like, "No, am I supposed to be bleeding this much?" I look, and guys,
Trigger warning.
trigger warning. We thought her water broke because it was a lot of blood. It was just like a lot, of course. I'm not going to go into more detail, but you
Details,
guys
yeah.
know. Immediately, I started to scramble and, stumble over my words. I'm like, no, you're not supposed to be bleeding that much. Are you okay? Who am I supposed to call? Are you okay? I'm going to get you a towel. You want a towel? She already had a child before.
So she's like, eh.
She was so cool and relaxed. She was like, girl, I'm fine. I said, are you sure? I literally lowered the table. I was like, come on, let's get up. She was like, she left with a smile on her face that day.
Oh
And
my
I was like
God.
shaking.
So did she give birth?
So she went afterwards. I was like, do you need me to call someone? Are you okay to drive? She was like, yeah, I'm fine. Just check me out. I'm good. She was probably happy to see that she's about to get the child out,
Oh my God.
get her body back. But turned out she had Braxton Hicks. I'm not sure what that is. I could be wrong what she had. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Braxton Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think her mucus plug did leave because it was
she was ready.
She was ready.
That's why she was getting it done.
It happened on my table.
You're like, all right, what do I do? Should I bring gloves? Scissors?
I thought I was about to have a child on my table.
That's crazy.
I know. It was crazy. But you know what? It happened. I mean, it made me a little bit more aware and prepared for anything. She said no essence this much. I turned around and I'm like, no. At least she got her lady area waxed.
Hey, she was set.
And I'm glad I gave her, you know what? I'm glad I gave her a good treatment.
You're all freaking out. You're like, what
I was freaking out, but she was happy. She was like,
because it wasn't her first.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. And she wasn't feeling any pain. She wasn't in any pain or anything like that. She just, girl, I thought it was pinpoint bleeding that she was talking about. I had no idea because, again, my back was turned to her.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I would want to share it with the beautiful people in the world, but
hey, I'm sure it has happened before. Maybe.
I don't know.
But maybe.
Because
it's normal, it's normal to get waxed when you're pregnant, but there's different ways for us, to do it because you can't flat, but.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was up the entire time, just like this, as we sitting, and I was waxing her. But girl, after that, there was another pregnant woman that was coming in to get herself waxed, and girl, the entire time I was on pin the needle. I was like, please don't. I was so nervous. I just
okay. Now I have my stuff ready, my gloves, my scissors.
I was like, please don't have your child on my table.
Not right now, please.
I know.
Did she give birth after that?
She gave birth a couple days afterwards.
Oh my God, so she was ready.
Yeah, she was ready. Yeah, she was ready.
Give me the chills.
But she came back, and I gave her a free service because I'm like, Your baby was almost here on my table. So I'm like, I'm
Speechless.
speechless.
Wow.
Like those,
What an
you cannot make
experience.
these things
No,
up.
you can't.
You
And I
cannot
feel like
make
a lot
these things
of
up.
estheticians don't talk about like the stories, behind that.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of experiences when it comes to.
Yeah. But we literally see so much. You should not be
Shy about it.
shy about it. But they are. You will be.
And it's okay. It's normal.
Yes. But, make it not an effort, but be aware that your esthetician, that whoever you go see,
clearly has seen
be aware that she has been doing it for a while, so she will make it her job to make sure that you're as relaxed as possible.
Yeah.
Because even in that situation, I just really wanted her to be relaxed and really wanted her to be okay, and she was, but I was willing to go over and beyond, for her, whatever she needed. But
wow.
it's crazy.
Oh, I feel for you.
I'm okay. I feel like it made me a better waxer, better esthetician, willing and able to address things as they come along.
Oh my God.
But that was an experience. She did give me the okay. I hope this mic is picking up everything, but she did give me the okay to share it. I told her I did not know if I wanted to share it or not. I had no clue. I had no clue if I wanted to, because at that time I was still in shock.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to wait. I didn't know just to randomly go out there and tell the world.
This and that.
Yeah, no. But I'm glad I'm sharing it in this video for you guys, because this video also comes with tips.
Yeah.
It's very educational.
Talking about tips, I don't know if you've seen the Lemme gummies.
The Lemme gummies?
Yeah.
I have.
Have you tried them before?
I have not.
No.
Have you?
I have not.
Yeah.
But I was reading into them. And I mean, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I think Kourtney
Kardashian.
Yeah, Kourtney Kardashian came out with those.
The Kardashians.
She has to say that. she has to say that. But Kourtney Kardashian came out with these gummies. Lemme gummies, and I think there's like different gummies for different purposes, which is beauty, known as the glow gummies. Lemme Glow. There is the Lemme Purr
for women's health.
Yeah. If you don't know what purr is, get with the program. Which is women's health.
Yes.
And I was doing my research on the Lemme Purr ones. I don't know. It makes me want to try them.
Should we try them, Alondra? I think we should. But
I think we should.
Let's leave it up to our listeners.
Yeah. We can give you guys an honest review about them.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments on YouTube if we should try Lemme Glow or Lemme Purr.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll leave a question and answer on our Spotify account, and you guys can go ahead and answer which one you guys want us to review. Mm-hmm. I'm excited if you guys are down for that.
I know. Give you guys an honest
review. You want to share the difference between them two? You want to go into detail with the two?
I think they're both used for different purposes.
Yeah.
The Lemme Purr is for women's health, for your lady area. It contains pineapple extract, vitamin C, and also I believe it was called S and Z 1969.
It was
which is like a probiotic.
A probiotic. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's probiotics in the Lemme Purr.
In there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the Lemme Glow, which is the beauty vitamin, has grass-fed peptides, which is the structural protein building blocks for strong skin, hair, and nails. It also has biotin, which is a vitamin B7. It has onic trace minerals, I believe. It has vitamin A, E, and C, and also have zinc in it. So that, claims to promote skin health, hair health, and nails. And these products are all gluten-free, no high fructose corn syrup. It doesn't have any dyes. It's vegan, dairy-free, no artificial sweeteners or synthetic colors. So
the packaging is cute.
Yeah, it is really cute, and
it's really girly.
I really like the promotion on Let Me Purr. I
like that.
Pets. I'm just like a feline lover, so I love that she promoted that in that way.
Yeah.
But you guys, let me know which one, Let Me Glow or Let Me Purr, and me and Alondra will take a trip and put it on our Instagram account for you guys, to see us, checking them out, and we can also show you guys the price range of these vitamins as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to, let me ask her, have she heard about them? Well, that's something that we can definitely ask our viewers.
Yes.
But
I spilled all the beans today.
Oh yeah, you did.
Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Guys, go easy on me, please.
She said go easy on me. The Kardashians. This was such a... I like this episode.
Me too.
Yeah.
I do too.
We were just going with the flow.
Just going with the flow of things.
Talking about...
You want me to close out for you today? Okay, I'll go ahead and do it. Thank you all for tuning in today. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to subscribe, hit that notification bell if you have not already yet, to stay updated on our post. And for our Spotify listeners, don't forget to follow our channel. Also, if you have a couple seconds, go ahead and view this podcast. Let us know, how you're liking it so far. And we'll see you in our next video.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.